The Denver Nuggets just took a 3-2 lead in this Nuggets Clippers series, and the Clippers are on the verge of getting eliminated. Now the game is not over, but the Denver Nuggets, they run away with the game in the fourth quarter. There's about a minute and a half left to go in this game, and they have about 20 plus points. And things I want to say is I want to start with the Clippers side of things with this. The Clippers offensively, they just look like their feet was in the mud. They was stuck in quicksand. They came out sluggish. They played slow. The Denver Nuggets came and punched them in the mouth, and they couldn't recover. They never got off the canvas once the Denver Nuggets punched them in the mouth. The offensive process has changed from the first three games that was working for the Denver Nuggets. For the Los Angeles Clippers, the offensive process, it just don't look the same. It look like everything now is just one-on-one basketball. Okay, James Harden pick and roll, whoever get the ball, we're gonna go in and and that's how we're gonna operate. Everything is one-on-one. It's little to no movement out there. You're not getting much from James Harden. And James Harden, I'm gonna say this about you. One thing I know about James Harden, if Clipper fans didn't know, because I don't think this is James Harden's first run in the playoffs with the Clippers since joining the team. And if Clipper fans didn't know who James Harden was in the playoffs, now they got a good introduction. Because in game one, one thing I know about James Harden, if it's game one, James Harden might be the greatest player of all time. A couple years back with the Philadelphia 76ers against the Boston Celtics when Joel Embiid didn't play, James Harden, he had 50. Game one in this series against the Denver Nuggets, he had 40. Now that it's got out later on games in this series, he's been a no-show, and that's a concern because you're one of the best players on the team. We need your contributions. And the games that you haven't played well, those are the two games you lost back to back. Obviously you played semi decent in game one. That was your best game. You played good in game one. You had 40, but you ended up ultimately losing because the Denver Nuggets, they pulled it off. But outside of that, it just mind-boggling me how in game one James Harden could look like this all-world player, and then come down later on in the series, he just become a complete no-show. It looked like he doing his best Chris Paul impression. No disrespect to Chris Paul or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, damn, bro. James Harden, you went from being a prolific scorer in this NBA, one of the best scorers that we ever seen in modern day history. We need you out there getting buckets. Now, you said that your legs is back today. You said that you're comfortable. You said you're on a team now. They're going to let you be able to operate and do the thing that you like to do and fulfill your full skill set. Now that you got a guy like Kawhi Leonard who's fully healthy. Fully fucking healthy. And you out here after game one, it's just crazy. The drop-off is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it is. I don't know what you're going in and telling your teammates after every game once in your playoff series. I don't know if you tell them, okay, this all I had in the tank. Now it's up to y'all. That's what it seems like that you're doing after every game one. Because after game one, in game ones, you top 5. But if it's game 5, you bottom 5. You heard me? It's crazy. It's crazy that the drop-off is significantly, last game you had 15 points. This game you had 11 points. In a game like this, where a game is important, you on the road, you're looking to take back control of the series after you just lost game 4 in a heartbreaking fashion. With Aaron Gordon doing that tip-back dunk and things like that. And you come back, I'm thinking y'all finna come out with extra steam and extra motivation to come out and try to steal this game on the Denver Nuggets home court. But no, y'all came out sluggish, y'all came out slow. It looked like y'all was fatigued a little bit. I don't know, maybe the altitude probably got to y'all a little bit. But the Clippers team, there was a complete no-show from top to bottom. Tyronn Lue, I don't know what you told these guys, during film study or anything like that, but Jamal Murray can play basketball. I don't know if y'all knew that. Jamal Murray can play basketball. Them Nuggets still a pretty good basketball team. I know y'all been keeping them pretty much at bay with y'all defense, but y'all been hanging your hats all season on the defense side of the ball. And in this game, y'all look like the worst defensive team in the league, worst defensive team in these NBA playoffs so far. This game was just little to no effort, little to no heart. You had no fight all game. And the results reflected it. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard, you got to play better than what you did as well. With you being the forefront of this franchise, the cornerstone of this franchise, star player of this franchise, you got to give us more than what you gave us tonight. You only gave us 20 points. You had 9 rebounds, 11 assists. That might look good on paper, but when watching the game, your impact was not felt on this game. I will say that the Denver Nuggets, they did a good job with, doubling Kawhi Leonard and trying to get the ball out of his hands to make other guys beat him, which, James Harden, you're supposed to relieve that stress off release that stress off Kawhi Leonard. And you didn't do that this game. You didn't do that. Like I said, 11 points. You know, 3 for 9 shooting. You only got up 9 shot attempts, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. You know, that wasn't aggressive James Harden. We need aggressive James Harden in this playoff series. I don't know what it is. That's why I said. In game 1, James Harden is probably the best playoff player in the NBA history. In game 1. But if it's game 5, game 6, game 7, James Harden, you know, I don't know. I just don't know. And it's concerning. It's concerning because it's been going on for years. Since we were with Philly, now you're doing this shit. When he was with Houston. He started with Houston. Now it's Philly. Then he went to Philly. And he pulled the same publicity stunt. Now he with the LA Clippers in his first playoff run with them. And he got Kawhi Leonard on his side. So it's not like he don't got help and they just caused him to, you know, get the ball out of his hands. No. The Denver Nuggets, they're leaving you on the island one-on-one for you to go off the dribble. But you're not doing anything with it. You're not doing nothing with your opportunities. You're not making the most opportunities. 9 shot attempts all you can give us. Nah, bro. I don't think Christian Brown was playing that type of defense where, you know, James Harden, or you can only put up 9 shot attempts. I don't think the defense was that suffocating for you only to get up 9 shot attempts. And that was really the ball game. Sum it up a little bit. You know, Norman Powell had 12 points. You know, he had the 2 good games. Yeah, he had a good game 3, good game 4. He came alive in game 3. You know, game 4, he kind of backed that up a little bit more. But Norman Powell's a role player. You know, every game, it's not going to be 20 plus points from him. But you need your star players and your key guys to be able to step up. You know, if it's Zubac, he had 27. He did his thing tonight. You know, it looked like he was the only one who prepared to hoop tonight. And he got the hardest assignment. He guarded Nikola Jokic. You know, one thing I want to say, Boban, he had a good game as well. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. He had 18 points. Probably definitely his best game of the series so far. You know, the other games he been a no-show. You know, Chris Dunn had 15 points. He was 6-7. And it's crazy. Chris Dunn has 7 shot attempts. James Harden had 9. You only got 2 more shot attempts up. You supposed to be the point guard, the lead, the head of the snake. And one thing I know about point guard that I've been playing it all my life. Bro, one of my coaches told me this. When you playing point guard, you dictate how many shots you get up. So James Harden, they just showed me how, you know, you was ultra passive in this game. You know, you weren't looking for your offense at all. And you need that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're going on runs. And you got that type of offensive capability where you can be able to stop the bleeding. Kind of what I was saying about Jokic. You know, how you need to be more aggressive. And when teams going on runs against his team, you got the offensive capability to be able to stop the bleeding. You know, be able to slow the momentum down. You know, get your team back and, you know, get them back under control and things like that. James Harden, same thing applies for you. This was just a bad game from the Los Angeles Clippers top to bottom. You know, 20 points from Kawhi, 27 from Zubac, 15 from Dunn, 11 from Harden, 12 from Norman Powell. But the thing that's enough about the Clippers. Because the Clippers, obviously, they laid down tonight. They didn't come to play. You know, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if it was jet lag, if it was the altitude that was going on in Denver in the arena, things like that. But y'all already played 2 games in the Denver arena. So y'all already know how it's going to be there. So y'all should have came prepared, doing some, you know, ran some extra laps or something during the pregame or anything like that to try to get y'all win back. But y'all did not show up today in this game, which was probably a definitely important game. Because now y'all going back on y'all home court. Y'all going back to LA. Came back to LA. Down 3-2. Now you got to be able to win 2 games instead of having to win 1 game. You know, you have to win. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to win these next 2 games to be able to advance to the next playoff round. And when you're going up against a team like the Denver Nuggets, who's been battle tested, who got the 3-time MVP, who was a Finals MVP, who a lot of people think that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. You have to be able to come up with your A game night in, night out, especially when you coming back when you go on the road and things like that. To be able to, you gotta play ultra. You gotta play better. The level of intensity that you have to play with when you're on the road against a team like that. They got that type of that's battle tested, that's connected, that been together, they know how to win and things like that. They got experience. You have to raise your level of intensity, and y'all just didn't match them in their intensity tonight, and that will cause for y'all to get ran at the gym. Now, from the Denver Nuggets standpoint of this, you know, Jamal Murray finally had his a signature Jamal Murray playoff game. You know, he had 43 points tonight. Best game of the series so far from Jamal Murray. And that's what I expect from Jamal Murray. You know what I'm saying? I ain't expecting 40 points, nothing like that. But I'm saying that's I'm not saying that's his floor. That's his ceiling. But I'm saying his floor needs to be around 22 to 23, 25 points a game. You heard him? Like he been below that. And they still been finding ways to keep themselves in this series, find themselves to keep find ways to win this game. And now, like I said, now that you get Jamal Murray, you get him back activated. It's looking scary for the Clippers. I'm not gonna lie. Clippers, y'all in dangerous territory. Dangerous territory. Because when you look at it, Nikola Jokic didn't even have the type of game that you would expect from Nikola Jokic. Yes, he had a triple-double. 13 points, though. 10 rebounds, 12 assists, which was a good stat line, but he was 4-13 from the field, 1-4 from the three. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He really wasn't aggressive. But everybody else around him, he got more help from his supporting cast. And shout out to Russell Westbrook. I said this after game 1. Russell Westbrook, I ain't gonna lie, he didn't have his fingerprints on every game that he done played in so far in this series. He was hurt game 3. He was hurt game 3 and game 4. He didn't play at all. He got hurt in warm-ups after game 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he played like 6-8 minutes, and he only played, he had 3 points in game 3, and he played it all in game 4. Came back, and why I want to say I want to give praise to Russell Westbrook is because the type of scrutiny that he get on his name that, oh man, whatever team he go through, he gonna mess him up. And he was just on the Clippers. And James Harden was in interviews talking about, we don't got certain guys on the team that don't, we got a different team. We don't have the same guys that on our team that don't know their role and things like that. Now the team is better now that he's on there. This for all the fans out there that say that Russell Westbrook messed up every team that he go to. Well, I just feel like Russell Westbrook keeps showing you. If you go to a team that know how to utilize him, he can make things happen. And that's exactly what he's doing. He came out on fire tonight. One thing I know about Russell Westbrook, he's going to play 110%. 110%. 110%. He's going to give you effort. He's going to give you energy. He's going to play hard every time, every game. He's going to defend. He's going to rebound. And he's going to knock down shots. And that's what he did today. Today, he had the jump shot going. I'm talking about he was knocking down threes. He was throwing up his T's every time he hit a three. He was letting y'all know about it. Because he was playing against a team that let him go and felt like he was hurting the team in a bad way. Now he went to a team that accepted him, they understand how to utilize him and utilize his skill set at the full capabilities, and now they're getting the most out of him. Now he on the verge of taking out the team. That I know they ain't got to be no better feeling. A team that felt like they was better off without me. I went to a team, now that we playing against the team that they felt like they was better off without me. Now I'm going up against them and I'm, giving them belt, giving them real leather belt. I'm spanking them, I'm playing well, I'm playing efficiently, and I'm letting them know about it while I'm whooping their ass. I know they ain't got to be no better feeling than that. Westbrook was off the bench, 21 points. 8 of 15 from the field, 3-6 from the three-point line. Had it going tonight. Rebounding, playing defense at a high level. Giving the Denver Nuggets a much-needed spark off the bench that they've been missing these past 2 games. The Denver Nuggets team look like a completely different team with Russell Westbrook in the lineup. Russell Westbrook, he was the main contributor in game 1, which I feel like Russell Westbrook was the reason they won the game. Now, we need to stop disrespecting Westbrook, because we see, once you put him in the right situation, or around right guys, they know how to utilize him, and put him in the right system, they know how to use him, and play off the guys, and he know how to play with those guys. We shown what he's capable of. Making winning plays, part of a winning culture, not hurting a team. All these things that everybody try to bash him and say that he proving that he isn't. And he's letting y'all know about it. Now, like I said, the Clippers, y'all in dangerous territory. I'm not going to say this series is over with because y'all going back to LA and y'all got a chance to tie this series up and make it and force it to a game 7. But right now, I'm going to tell y'all playing with fire. Because with a Denver Nuggets team, they know how to close out games. They know how to win. They done been through it before. They done been down and out. Guys were struggling. Now you got Jamal Murray, who feel like he's back, who just played his best playoff game of the series so far. As we all know, Jamal Murray is a playoff roster. So this is what we fully expect of Jamal Murray. Not saying 43 points is his floor, but I'm just saying, when it comes playoff time, we know that Jamal Murray is one of the best playoff rosters in the NBA. And we got a vintage Jamal Murray playoff game tonight. Jamal, we know what Nikola Jokic is. We ain't got to speak too much about that. But you got guys like Russell Westbrook, who's entering the party and doing all the little things and knocking down shots and making plays at the right moments. Man, cause now you asking yourself, can we win these next 2 games? Now, if y'all would have won tonight, we would have had to win one of the two next games. You heard me? Like, the pressure would have been so off. Would have been, all on Denver Nuggets if they would have lost this game, because they would have lost on their home floor. Now they're heading back to the Clippers arena. and we had a chance to close them out. No. And it's like I've been saying this all playoff long. It's really not about how you lose. I mean, it's not about wins or losses sometimes. It's about how you lose and how you win. And how y'all lost tonight, it just showed y'all that y'all look like a defeated team, a deflated team, a team that look like a lackluster team who gave me poor energy, no fight, who act like they seasons is not on the line right now. That's exactly what they look like. The offensive process from the Clippers from the first 2-3, from the first 4 games of this series. Tonight, the offensive process did not look the same from the Los Angeles Clippers. James Harden in pick and roll wasn't as effective. Kawhi wasn't getting to his spots. I feel like with James Harden not being aggressive, that kind of put more pressure on Kawhi Leonard, because now he got to do more things with more bodies surrounded around him. And James Harden now taking that, relieving some of that pressure off of him. You know, with causing double teams, drawing double teams. You know, making kickouts and things like that. Putting pressure on the rim, getting guys in foul trouble. You know, you were letting them off the hook tonight, and that really sums up the ball game. Jamal Murray had a vintage playoff game. Russell Westbrook came in doing what he doing, making winning plays, impacting the game, which he been doing all series long, and every game that he didn't step foot in. James Harden didn't show up per usual. Kawhi Leonard didn't have a efficient game, an effective game at all. His fingerprints went at all. And the Denver Nuggets look like the better team tonight. Now, you're going to have to come up with some heavy adjustments now that Jamal Murray is back cooking. You're going to have to put, hey, look, I understand. Nikola Jokic already a handful. So if you're seeing doubles off him off that 2-man role, you're going to leave Jokic wide open. And you're going to have this, the Aaron Gordon from the dunk spot catching lobs all day. But something's going to have to give. Because you can't have Jamal Murray doing this. You can't have Jamal Murray going for 43. You can't have Russell Westbrook giving you 21 off the bench. You can't have Nikola Jokic giving you a triple-double. You got to take away something. In Los Angeles Clippers, they didn't take away nothing. The Clippers just sit there and let the Denver Nuggets do whatever they wanted to all night long. No resistance on the offensive end at all from them. Like I said, now shout out to Russ Westbrook, man. For real, bro. I respect it. You know, because regardless of what they say about you, you go out there and play the same way you play your game, and you really don't let the outside noise, you know, affect how you play. James Harden, we're going to need you to step up in this next game. You got to be able to change the narrative about you, because right now, we're seeing the same thing that we've been saying for the last 4 or 5 years. In the first few games, you can be you LeBron. In game 1, you top 5. Just don't let it be game 5 when it comes to James Harden, because as the games go on, that's when you fade away. I don't know what it is, but y'all better have it on your mind after this game, come game 6, and make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'm gonna see y'all next time after game 6. We're gonna be right here, so make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so y'all know at the game 6 y'all gonna get my initial reaction and my takes on how I feel about the game, and I'll see y'all next time.